So in the last class we are concentrating on how we can start working with the criteria of the data query. But technically we're just trying to catch the issue of why we need to query the data. So the main reason we are querying the data is to see that we are just trying to analyze the criteria of the business process that has been done by the end user. So end user always asks you as a developer, whenever you are trying to work within the project, some of the core requirements with respect to the processes that have been running in the business, and whenever he needs some information, that should definitely tell him the way the kind of business has been running. Then in such kind of cases, you need to always try to go with this concept of querying the data. So select statement can be a very simple statement, but at the same time you need to understand it takes 80% of the overall load of the entire application development whenever you are coming to the process of database management system applications. Now whenever you want to query the data, there should be some reason, I hope so, like why we are querying the data, on which kind of object we are querying the data, what is the fundamental system on which we are querying the data. Writing a select statement is not a difficult job, but we should know the clear reasons why we are writing that particular piece of the select statement, keeping the target audience for whom we are writing that particular piece of the select statement. Maybe within the classroom, target audience for a select statement can be you. If I am considering that you are students and I am a faculty, then I can just tell you this is a select statement, this is a syntax, and this is what you have to write. But I don't think that will help you definitely when you are getting into industrial process. So for every select statement we are going to write from this classroom, we need to have a reason why we are writing it, for what purpose we are going to write this, and who are the target audience who are going to take care of the data what we are going to give them. So there should be some kind of system and there should be some kind of reason for which we are writing the select statements definitely. Now all the systems that are existing in the world, we cannot definitely try to discuss within one single class. But whenever you go into a system, business to business systems can be different, but the fundamental process of logic what they are expecting and what they are implementing is same. Data will be different, object will be different. The criteria of the logic with which we are going to apply, the process of that particular information will be same. So whenever you are trying to sit within the class, whenever you are trying to work within your particular class, for every query what we are going to execute, you need to have a reason the query goes and fits to which logic of the business process as far as the real time is concerned. So I am taking one system that is nothing but human resource management system. Now when you say it's a human resource management system, it is a very vast system containing multiple different number of sub-processes. So within that entire human resource management system, we are only concentrating on the business area called as employees information. We are just trying to concentrate on the employees information. That's the fundamental side, the most fundamental side of the employees information criteria we are trying to concentrate. Now when you say you have a system, definitely you should have some kind of entities in which you can store the data. Now one particular system with respect to one business area contains how many number of entities we can't say, because business to business, environment to environment, application to application, the number of entities and the number of tables will change. But at least if we can understand why a table technologically participates and why that particular table will definitely try to operate, if we can just know that, then I think we can just give some very wonderful compositions with respect to the way the industry demands from us. Therefore, to make ourselves comfortable, we are just starting with a system where we are having 3 tables on which we are going to concentrate in the initial stages. For students who are coming from the academics and who have been already working with Oracle as part of their academics, these tables may not be new to you. But for the students who are coming into the databases for the first time, these tables are reflecting definitely some kind of object in the business. Now each table, when we design and we define within the business process, it has some requirement. And these requirements will come from the existing business that we are trying to analyze and that we are trying to execute. For any human resource management system, definitely we need the different kinds of departments that are existing and that are operating for that particular business process. So we are having one table. With a name called as DEPT, which is technically containing all the departments that are registered to this particular system. Means within the system, whatever we are trying to operate, my client is managing how many different kinds of departments. Those all departments are registered into this particular table. The second one what we are having is the EMP table. Now for a human resource management system, employees play another important role. So all the employees are working in my organization. Those employees will be registered in this particular piece of the table. With respect to every employee, he should belong to one department. So the department to which the employee is belonging, this table will be answering. In that way, one table will always associate with another table for its status of requirement. And every employee, when he is working in your organization, you are going to pay him some salary definitely. Depending upon the range in which he is earning the salary, we define some grade under which he has to be identified. All such kind of grades with which your company is identifying the range of salaries, those particular grades information is available in this. Initially, we are just trying to concentrate on these three tables. As we get matured, by requirement and by time, we may add few more tables. Now, whenever I am adding one table, definitely I will try to give you the reason why the table is coming into the picture. One very important misconception what majority of the students have, I want to eliminate it here itself. Generally, I have few students who ask me like, sir, can I work with more number of tables? Now, the only question I have is, why you are expecting that there should be more number of tables? So, the number of tables is not a measure for the sake of the experience what you have in your database. First understand this. There are certain misconceptions among students that depending on the number of tables my experience increases. That is wrong. You work with 2 tables or you work with 2000 tables, you do not understand the rule of RDBMS and you start practicing, it's waste of time. So how many tables you use is not important. Upon those tables, how much of RDBMS principles you are implementing is more important. So first remove the misconception that if I practice with more number of tables, I'll get more experience. That point should be out of your mind first of all. Why? Because you may be having a friend who could be working with same Oracle with some other kind of number of tables. So don't get worried now. Okay, these 3 tables can teach us everything what industry is demanding from you, because here we are talking not on the tables, we are talking on the concept what we need when we are developing the projects. Anywhere I feel that these tables cannot give you certain amount of logic with the concept that is expected, I will introduce a table, you don't worry about it. First you need to just follow along with me. So the number of tables, number of columns, number of records is not at all a measure for the sake of your experience and the exposure you get out of the databases. Therefore, generally, these are few things that I need to speak in my starting classes itself, because majority of the time students have a wrong notion that if I work with a table with 10,000 records, I'll get more logic. You first try to understand these 3 tables by the rule of RDBMS. Then if you want another 3,000 tables, I can give you. Okay? Until you don't conquer these 3 tables, don't expect any other table. Why? Because when you cannot understand at least one table by its existence in the business, what is the fun in taking another table? So here our concept is, are we catching up SQL? SQL is not important. Are we catching the rule of RDBMS with SQL? So you need to leave that responsibility on my shoulders now. Now once your tables are ready, what is the purpose for which these tables are represented in your particular database? Can you tell me? In the last class I think I was telling you why these tables are represented, or any table is represented in RDBMS. To store the information regarding the business process. Don't tell only data. Data The word called as data is very simple. So we can't say it's data. Every table is basically designed for the sake of storing information regarding one business process, regarding one business event that is happening. So whenever you are trying to work with these tables, there should be some reason why you are utilizing these tables. Now, what are the reasons you have your tables? Time tells us, let us not worry. But the most important things you should always keep it in your mind is, when you take any table for representation, the first component that should be taken very seriously is state of the relation. It may be too early for students coming for the first time to understand the state of the relation. Now, whether you can understand, you cannot understand, that's not an issue for us. But that point should go and fit in your brain at this level itself. Not even single query I expect you to execute without understanding these things. So for any time you take any database and you start writing your queries, the reason to write the query will definitely contain one component called as state of the relation. Now, state of the relation can be any one of these two things. One, mandatory state. Mandatory state in the sense that specific state of the value is compulsory. Means it's not going to allow you for what? Nulls. So you take any table. A table is always a collection of columns. Now each column is representing the property of the object on which you are operating. Now certain properties are compulsory for that object to exist. Certain properties are not compulsory for that object to exist. So whichever properties are definitely compulsory for that object to exist, to keep the business process executable, that property is called as mandatory. Any particular property that is not definitely compulsory for that object's existence in the business is technically called as what? Optional. So this mandatory and optional will directly tell you in which column of your table data should be there, in which column of the table data may be there. One direct straightforward question what the interviewer can ask you is, if I give you one table, can you tell me in which columns I will definitely contain values, in which columns I may have values? The simple thing you should tell him by common sense is, so for every property that is referring to that particular table, will have two things. One is the mandatory state and the other is optional state. All those columns what I analyzed for mandatory state will definitely contain a value. All those columns what I have analyzed, if they come under the optionality, there may be a value, there may not be a value. There may be nulls in this particular column. That's how by fundamental common sense we can understand what your database definitely try to does. The second thing is cardinality of the relation. So if I don't know the cardinality of the relation, what happens? You'll never know the reason why you're writing the query. Majority of the times you find students saying that, sir, I'm understanding the select statement, but I'm not understanding the reason why I need the select statement. That reason why you are writing the select statement can be clear to you only when your state of the relation and mandatory, the cardinality of the relation are very clear. So cardinality comes in three levels. One, one-to-one, the second is one-to-many, and the third is many-to-many. As far as RDBMS is concerned, we do not consider anything like many-to-one because we have one rule in RDBMS that cardinality should always be in the direction of lower level cardinality to higher level cardinality. That is one rule. Therefore, if anybody says that I'm having many-to-one relationship, by mathematics is correct, by RDBMS we don't accept it. We don't say it's wrong. By RDBMS we don't accept it because in RDBMS we always try to put the relation in the direction of one to many. Now whenever you take the cardinality test should be conducted in 4 levels. You would always conduct the cardinality test in 4 levels. One, from the table to each column in the table. from each column to the table, from one table to another table, and from one column in this table to another column in the same table. So if these 4 levels of cardinality tests are very clear, 40% of your logic with respect to real-time implementation of your queries will be clear. Majority of the times when you find anybody saying that I'm not understanding by situation how I should write the select statement, the only problem for that person could be neglecting these things in the initial stages when he is learning his databases. These all things are not complicated. But they can be definitely going to keep you into trouble if you do not catch them in the initial stages when you are exactly trying to work with the process. Therefore, without any constructive reason, I just do not want you people to carry on the process. So if we can just go back and recollect, in the last class we were saying that we concentrate on the records, it's nothing but what? Selection. And we concentrate on the columns, it's nothing but what? Projection. And every system has some state of the representation. That state of the representation I wanted to catch now. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, you are concentrating with certain issues. Then you'll understand that managing databases is not complicated if we can just put our common sense into the business process. The reason, generally when a student says like, sir, I'm having so and so academic state, can I look suitable for database? For databases, the only simple qualification is, can you understand the business by process and can you understand English? These are the only 2 qualifications to be part of the databases. Sir, I'm too good in English. One part of your qualification is clear. So I have common sense of understanding the business and its process. The second level requirement for database career is clear. So every human being, by 40% he can always work for databases. 60% you have to concentrate in the classrooms to catch the technicalities. In the next few minutes you are participating in the discussion. I'll only help you. Anywhere you don't participate in the process, I'll just leave you in the doubt and I'll keep you aside in the process. So we said that we are having one table called as department, and in that department table we are definitely having 3 columns for their representation. Now every time you take any particular column, the column has to prove the state of the relation. I want you to first catch the state of the relation and then we'll go with the cardinalities. Now every department should have a department number or may have a department number. Should have a department number. So that's what it's saying, mandatory. So I am not writing that mandatory just like that, okay? So by analysis I am fixing that state as mandatory. So that clearly tells me that in that column called as department number, if I give a null, my entity should reject. So entity tables have to be created as per the business, or business is designed as per the table. Tables are to be created as per the business. So my business is saying what now? Department number is a column that should never contain any nulls. So let us just test this now, okay? Now we are just getting into the process to test this as a criteria. So here we are having some data within this particular table called as DEPT. Now we are talking on only department number column now, okay? So I'm just trying to test it, whether my table is working as per my rule of the business or not. So I'm saying insert into DEPT. We are saying department number comma dname comma location, and then we are just trying to say values. Now we just watch carefully. I'm saying 50 comma, I'm saying shipping, then I'm saying Chennai. Now I'm giving values to all the columns or not? Yes, our concentration is only on department number column. So it is saying it's mandatory and I provided a value. So definitely I think it's taking it. Now I'm just rolling back my data because I don't want to make it permanent. I'm just calling my insert statement once again. This time you watch, in the place of this 50, I'm saying null. Now according to my business analysis, what is it saying, man? It should not accept the null. Yes or no? Because my business is saying the department number is mandatory. So when a business says department number is mandatory, my Oracle has to work according to the business rule only. So you just watch here, when I'm trying to give my null and I'm pressing my enter key. So this is what is called as a system is built with intelligence to the business associated to RDBMS. So this message is very clearly showing that my table is understanding my business rule. The rule of the business, what it is understanding is a department number cannot contain a null. So whenever I am trying to force the null, it is immediately telling me, cannot insert null into. So whenever we build tables, are we building the tables with the intelligence that is expected by the business? That's why I said very clearly, everybody in the world can create a table, but are you creating entities? Entity and table, by common sense they are same, but by technicality they are not same. So when you are working for any specific project, somebody who is called as business consultant is analyzing the things and will come and tell you, you are the developers, will come and tell you, department number should never contain a null. Please see that it's implemented. As a developer, how you can give this intelligence to your table that whenever you give the null, it can reject it. Now you cannot ask your analyst, can you tell me how to do that? Analyst says, I don't know what is Oracle mean. I know only how to analyze a business environment. I am giving the rules. Now by Oracle, how you can implement it, you decide that. There was an Oracle developer, how many times you are getting ready for that particular purpose? The same way, every department should have a name or may have a name. Should have a name. If a department is not having a name, identifying and getting the details of the department can be difficult for everybody. See, if I am the owner of my business, department number 10, I know what it will do. But the end user may not understand what department number 10 is doing. He may expect some name for clarity first of all. So department name should contain null or may contain null. Should never contain null, not even may, should never contain null. Now let us go and watch what is our database doing now, okay? See, that's how you need to test your process every time. Therefore, reading the rule is not important. Are we going as per the rule? Now we watch carefully, I am calling my insert. Now here I am saying 50. Now previously when I gave department name, it was accepting my record or rejecting my record? Accepting. Because the value is there. Now this time what I am doing, you just watch, I am removing this shipping. And I am saying null. Now as per my business, it should accept this data or it should reject this data. It should reject the data because department name should not contain nulls. Because every department should have a value. It should have a value, that's nothing but department's name. Now this is where you read RDBMS and you work with Oracle, Oracle looks confusion. That's how the first level confusions will start. If we are not discussing these business rules, now I don't think we have any confusion in these areas. But when we are talking about the business and we are talking about the database, that's where people who generally work with the databases, they say like, sir, I am having some confusion when I am implementing my database. That's what I said. Are you working with a table or are you working with an entity? That's a very important thing. So there is a very clear proof that Oracle is giving this department as an entity or as a table now. As a table. Because tables do not have intelligence of the business. Tables have only the intelligence of data types, size, and with respect to that syntax, nothing more than that. But we are expecting a table to behave like what? Entity. Now I can say that in this case my table is having some intelligence, but in this case it's not having intelligence. But I cannot say here it is an entity and here it is a table. That's wrong. My database tables, when I say they are entities, they should follow every rule. They should follow every rule. So we have to always get ready to start with the tables, and with our experience we should come to the conclusions of what is an entity. That's the only reason in my previous classes itself I said we are currently working with the tables. We are not really working with entities. One day definitely we have to get into the experience of entities from this classroom. So, sir, how exactly an entity comes into the picture? We'll see. Let us not worry. First, let us understand this difference. So, when you listen to the class, you have to catch very carefully what I am trying to speak, because I will work on the rule of RDBMS. I will never work on the rule of SQL. You catch your RDBMS, your SQL automatically comes at the back of you. You catch only SQL, RDBMS can never come at the back of you. So according to SQL, this is accepted or not accepted? Accepted. But according to my analysis, it is not acceptable. So now the client puts pressure on you. That's the reason I said, you're always under pressure in the industry because you have to work as per the idea of the client. So why people say that software industry has pressure is only those students who cannot understand how their technology can represent the business. The day you can understand how your technology can represent the business, you don't have any kind of pressure, because you're already clear with all the rules and regulations of the implementation. So just start up on the process. So how to make that mandatory? Leave that on my shoulders. But first understand how the properties can be analyzed. Every department should have a location or may have a location. Should have a location. If the department does not have a location, we don't know where it is. So you just go back and recollect once again. When we gave the location, it was working or it was not working? It was working. Now I'll just say roll back. And then I'm just calling my insert. Now this time you watch, I'm saying this is a value, but I'm giving location as null. I'm giving location as null. Now as per my rule of business, that value should not be acceptable. Do you agree with me? Yes. So you can just watch what happens now. That's how your confusions will start. So I am using my Oracle table. What is your greatness? Everybody will use Oracle table if they learn Oracle. Are you trying to implement the Oracle table as per the requirement of the business or not? By the day I complete this course and I will leave you out of the class, you should have clear reasons for all these things. Without keeping these reasons, you come and knock the door of the industry. Morning you will get hired, evening you will get fired. Remember that. The software industry's principle is very clear today, man. Morning I will keep you into the job. By afternoon I expect the results. If I'm not satisfied, by evening get ready to take the relieving letters. I'm not scaring you. I'm making the point clear to you. Remember that, okay? Because we Indians have one wonderful gene. That's nothing but once I get the job, till I'm 60 years old, nobody should remove me. That is government jobs, okay? But in corporate sector, I can remove you anytime. Because I want people who can increase my profits. I don't want people who can sit and kill my profits. So, when my client gives me some responsibility, am I doing according to that? So, these are tables, these are not entities. That's very clear. How to make them entities? Leave that on my shoulders. We have much lot of things to discuss here. On the same construct, let us come to EMP table. Now, I think you can make the things more faster. Every employee should have an employee number or may have an employee number. Should have an employee number. So, mandatory. Every employee should have a name. Yes, mandatory. Every employee should be identified by one particular designation. Yes, so mandatory. Every employee will have a joining date. Yes, so it's mandatory. Every employee should be fixed with a salary. Yes or no? Yes, so mandatory. Every employee should have a commission. Maybe, may not be, optional. So that column is telling that in this column you can keep nulls. That's how in which column a null will come, in which column a null can never come, only with analysis they are clear. Therefore, as per the analyst, a developer should work. As per the developer, an analyst will never work. Be very clear. 70% freshers, they don't like their seniors. You like your senior, you do not like your senior, no great things will happen in your life. Okay? You don't like your senior, you will lose a job. Your senior doesn't like you, you will lose a job. Sir, can't I remove the job of the senior? No. Why? Because we have already believed him for last 2 to 3 years. He made certain things in such a way that I started believing him. Therefore, I don't remove him. Until unless I don't feel that he is not looking suitable for me. But you, I don't care. Why? Because you're just a fresher. So I don't come and talk to you. I talk to your senior and ask him, is your team is looking productive or not? If your team lead says, yes sir, they are really wonderful. Okay, man, continue. If team lead says, sir, 5 guys are there, one is really looking problem for me, then immediately say, why don't you think of replacing? No more discussions. What senior says, we'll accept it. So, are you understanding your analyst? You understand your Oracle is not important. The same way, every employee should have a manager or may have a manager. May have a manager. Certain employees will be there with their designations, they can't have any managers. They are not answerable to anybody. The same way, every employee should work for a department or may work for a department. Should work for a department. So, some columns will be mandatory, some columns will be optional. This is decided by analysis or just by guessing? By analysis. This is definitely applied by analysis. Therefore, where is the chance that you can start by-hearting the tables? No? You can't. Students coming from colleges, just leave one thing out of, you should just immediately clean off one thing from your brain. I will by-heart the queries and I will come to the industry. Sorry gentlemen, no way you can exist in the industry by by-hearting the examples. It only pick up by rule of analysis. Many times I have one question, sir, if I take your examples, can I attend an interview? How I can say that, then tell me. To satisfy, I'll tell you, yes, don't worry. But believing is your problem. Why? Because when you sit in front of me in the interview room, I will ask the questions according to the projects in which I am working. Not according to the project from which you are coming. So where is the criteria that my example will be definitely becomes part of your interview rooms? College level thinking, please remove it first of all. According to your syllabus, you'll get questions in your examinations. According to your syllabus, you'll get questions in your Viva voice, external. But industries are not like that. The more faster you can remember this, it's better. Now let us go to the cardinality test now. I want definitely from you in the next 10 minutes to speak on cardinalities. I'm concluding multiple things in the next 10 minutes in our discussions. Now first let us conduct the cardinality test in the direction of table to columns. First let us see this direction. One department should have only one department number allocated, or one department can be given many number of department numbers. One department should be always represented by only one department number. So that's how 1 to 1 will come. One department should be recognized by one department name, or one department can be recognized by many department names. One department should be recognized by only one department name. So that is also what? 1 to 1. Now, one department should be in only one location, or one department can be in multiple locations. Multiple locations. Are you catching the point now? What you said is really correct. One department can be in multiple locations. I can have marketing in Hyderabad, Bangalore, and I can even have in Delhi. Now, what you said is correct, no doubt. Now, your cardinality has to be adjusted according to the client's business, or your client's business will be adjusted according to your cardinality. Our cardinality should be adjusted according to the client, or client should adjust the cardinality according to our technology. Our cardinality has to be adjusted according to the client. So try to understand one thing. What you said is correct. But imagine I am your client now. I am your client. Okay? Now you are saying that, sir, one department will have definitely a location, but there can be multiple locations. See, by your analysis and your experience, you gave me a suggestion. I am not denying that. But as a client, I am telling you that, sorry, currently I am not doing a business where I have one department in multiple locations, because I don't have a budget to handle multiple departments with multiple locations, or one location with multiple departments. I don't have certain budget in that. So please see that you are designing the system in such a way that one department is in one location. So what is your responsibility now? Adjust your cardinality according to mine. Therefore, by common sense, we can always analyze one business environment. By the reality of the client, we should adjust it. Therefore, that one-to-one, please understand why I kept one-to-one. Are you catching me? So this table has been given by Oracle Corporation for us with an idea of one department will be in one location. So the table is created by Oracle keeping that in the mind. Therefore, we are going according to that idea only. Are you catching the point now? So if I have one department in many locations, what I should do? We'll get highly mature to understand all these things. Let us take fundamentals very properly. Now, these all columns from the table to the column, they are in which cardinality? 1-to-1. Now, I am making one thumb rule clear now. Okay? Now, I don't want to speak about these thumb rules again and again. When you test cardinality upon a table, from table to the column, definitely every column should give 1-to-1. This is a thumb rule of RDBMS. Are you catching the point now? I am repeating once again. Whenever you are conducting the rule of cardinality from the table to the column, as per the standards of RDBMS, definitely every column should be 1-to-1. So if I have a column with 1-to-many, you are violating the first normal form, and your table needs normalization principles to be executed. That's how normalization starts. By analysis, normalization cannot start from the books. Be very clear about that. So, this is not my rule. This is a rule of RDBMS. First understand this. Now, definitely a student will get one doubt. So, if suppose there is a column 1-to-many, I am not saying that 1-to-many should not be there. In the business, it can be there. But when you design the table, finally it should be 1-to-1 only. So, if at all I have 1-to-many, definitely you are violating first normal form, and you have to go and analyze your table according to first normal form principles, where every column in the table, from the table to the column, should be 1-to-1. So where I will learn the criteria of designing my entities properly, I told you we just started. There's a long journey to go along with it. If we are not speaking on rule of RDBMS, this much of discussion we don't need. I'll directly write one select statement and tell you, please copy that in your material or your book, and you'll also do it very sincerely. But what is the guarantee that same table will come in your particular projects? Catch the concept. That's what I'm saying. You want to get your job, or you want to keep your job? Decide that. Okay, these two statements can look very simple, but they are very important. You want to get the job, or you want to keep the job? So I want to get the job. You don't need to struggle. Why? Because 16 years of education can get you a job. So can I keep my job? Now that you have to think day by day as I am taking you into the course. Now let us complete the cardinality test from column to table. In the reverse direction you are coming now, okay? One department number should be allocated to only one department, or one department number can be allocated to many departments. One department number should be allocated to only one department. Now I want to catch few things now, okay? Now this department number column, you watch carefully. From both the sides, what is its cardinality? 1 to 1. Within one table, I am making my thumb rules clear now. Within one table, there should be at least one column that is definitely containing 1 to 1 in both the directions. I am very clear in my words. Within any table, according to the fundamentals of RDBMS, there should be at least one column that is definitely 1 to 1 in both the directions. So if I have more than one column, not a problem, at least one should be there. And whichever column you feel it's technically looking too perfect, that column you will convert that into a primary key. That's how the concept of primary key comes into the picture. Therefore, if in your project, your designer has given you one primary key, means it's by analysis it's given, not blindly. Therefore, your designer should explain everything to you is not a rule. Therefore, being a developer, how many times you can understand the designer? Be technically very clear about these things. One thing I'll tell you, and see, you are in the classroom, I am coming at your level to explain the technology. Do you agree with me? The moment I keep my leg outside my class and you are coming into any company, and by a bad luck or luck, we both met together in the same project, you be very sure I will be at my level only. I'll never come at your level to explain anything in my project. Be sure about it. Therefore, classrooms are different, professionalism is different. Even though I know that you are a fresher, never anything will be explained at your level. I'll keep the system at my level and I'll keep it in front of you. Your job is to work and give me the solution. If you say that's a pressure I cannot understand, if I'm having good mood, I may explain you. If I'm not having in good, I'm not in the good mood, I may say, understanding is your job, not my job. Giving problem is my responsibility. By evening you can do the solution, be in the team, else tomorrow take your decisions and try to be outside. That's how the things will go. Therefore, you have to synchronize yourself to your seniors. Your seniors never synchronize with you. Sir, my senior is synchronizing with me, be happy. He's not synchronizing, you can't complain on it. Because you're also educated. You got your job. You'll take a 30,000 rupees salary. Why the hell I should help you? I'm doing my job. I'm taking my salary. My job is to give you the job. My job is to give you the work. I gave you. Understanding and doing is your job. You don't do it, I'll keep you aside. Finish. Classrooms are different. Industry is different. That's what I'm saying. From the classroom, I may pamper you, but industry, nobody pampers you. They will keep the points very clear, okay? Within any table, if it is an RDBMS table, at least one column should be 1 to 1 in both the directions. By analysis, your analyst will make one table which is basically identified like that with one primary key. We'll understand primary keys more seriously at the later stage, let us not worry. But I think I'm putting the point clear in your mind now. Next, one department name should be given to only one department, or one department name can be shared by multiple departments. Only one department. You cannot have the same name to multiple departments, it's confused. So that's another one, that is 1 to 1. I told you, at least one column should be 1 to 1. There can be more than one, that doesn't matter. Third, in one location I can have only one department, or I can have multiple departments. I can have multiple departments. So wherever a one-to-many is coming, what it is telling me? It's telling me that the value in this column can be duplicated. That's how within my table, which column values can be duplicated, which column values cannot be duplicated. With a fraction of seconds we can catch by common sense of analysis. If this analysis is not there, you'll never have your idea what is your data and why it is your data. Watch now. I want answers from you. I'm inserting one record now. Now I'm giving this particular data by saying shipping and say like we are saying Chennai. This data is acceptable or not acceptable? Acceptable. It is following the rule of the relation. It is also following the rule of the cardinality. It's in. Now watch carefully. We are going with the second record. This is nothing but, suppose say like 40. And here I am saying cargo. Okay. Now I am just trying to say this is Mumbai. Okay. Now 40 is already there or it's not there? It's already there. So cardinality of department number is saying what? Come on now. It should be 1 to 1. Means 1 to 1 means what's the rule? Value in the department number should not be duplicated. That's what we are saying now. So let us see whether Oracle is understanding that or not. Watch. So this is called as applying the intelligence of your analysis to your table. Time and again I'm repeating. Sir, I can create tables. I don't need your tables. Can you create entities according to my business, what I'm having? I will give you a raw system. Can you develop a finished product out of it? Look into the constructs. So I think my table is having definitely some level of intelligence to understand these things. At the same time, let us just go once again into this. I'm giving this as 60. 60 is available or not available? Not available. Now I'm giving my department name as sales. Sales is already there or it's not there? It's already there. The rule of department name is saying what? It should be 1 to 1, means it should not be duplicated. So this record should be accepted or rejected? Rejected by the rule of the uniqueness. But this is where the confusion starts now. That's where you are not participating in the class. Next day when you are listening to my class in practicality, yesterday's RDBMS affects a lot. So I was absent yesterday. Tomorrow will be a problem for you, I can tell you. SQL will not be a problem. RDBMS will be a problem for you. You have to be part of the class definitely to understand the synchronization between SQL and RDBMS. Sir, we don't need this RDBMS integration, we need only SQL. I'll be the most happiest person. We can complete a course in less than 30 days. Sir, can I stay in the company for a good amount of time? I can't promise you that. I can't promise you that. First of this month, you can get your offer letter. First of next month, you can get your relieving letter. So with RDBMS, you will get your offer letters in your hands. Till you do not want to leave the company, your company will never remove you. Because we need people who can work with reasons. We don't want people who can work with syntaxes. So this is what. Now it's accepting sales, therefore it's stable. The day I can make this table not to accept the duplication, then it's entity. So I have great deal of work to be done to tell you what are entities. Now let us come to the construct and composition of the same 70 I gave here. Now I am saying this is Korea. Now I am just saying this is basically part of select Dallas. Dallas is already existing or not existing? Existing. We can have two departments in the same location or it's not in the same location. We can have two departments can be in the same location. So I think we are following through the rule. That's how when you deal with any kind of cardinality, that cardinality tells when where the data can be duplicated, where the data cannot be duplicated. Therefore, the interviewer is clearly asking you a simple question. I am having a table of 10 columns. Can you tell me how to know which columns can contain duplicates? It's not a tough question, but many will not answer. The simplest answer you should give is, sir, if I put my cardinality test, I'll come to know about this. When a column can be in the cardinality to the table as 1 to many, then definitely I can say that data can be duplicated. So who says that until you do not develop your total project, you cannot know what is happening behind your application then? There are certain rules what we are really fixing and we are working on telling you. Actually, this part of the job what I am doing is waste of time. But these reasons are not known to you. 40% of the course will be a problem for you. Now you are coming with the rule of the cardinality once again. Okay, last 5 minutes to close. Just because we are going to work from the select statements very seriously now. I just want very quick answers from you. One employee should have only one employee number or many employee number? One employee number. One employee should submit only one name or multiple names? One name. One employee should be given only one designation or many designations? One designation. One employee will have only one joining date or multiple joining dates? One joining. One employee is fixed with one salary or many salaries? One salary. Sure. Is fixed with one salary or multiple salaries? One salary. You have joined this month, when I am giving you salary next month now. You work for me in the next month, I am giving you one more salary. So one or many? So be careful, okay? You are fixed with one salary, but you are paid multiple payrolls. Payroll is different, salary is different, okay? Payroll is something you are paid by your role. Role is nothing but what? Attendance. What I fix you is a salary. What I fix you is not a pay. Be very clear, okay? One employee should have only one commission or multiple commissions? One or many? Here you should be careful, okay? So all the people are saying multiple, you should be thinking very seriously on the systems, okay? See, you join my company and you are eligible for commission then. Then you are asking me, sir, what's my commission? Then I am saying you can get 5%, 10, 15, 20% also, don't worry. Then with all your energy you started working in the project or you start working in the business for 1 month. Now, I said 5, 10, 15 or 20. You gave all of your responsibilities and you did the best nobody has done in my company till now. How much you are expecting? 20. Now imagine I give you 5%. Then your disturbance will start. Now once again the next month you are doing your work very sincerely, better than previous month. How much you are expecting? No, you have already compromised in your life. At least 15% is okay. But I gave you 5%. So try to understand, you are fixed by one commission, but your amount calculated can be different. Why? Because percentage is fixed and amount will be different by your targets. Be careful. You cannot be fixed into multiple commissions. You are fixed by one commission, but paid by value in a different way. So, system rule is very important for us here. One employee should work for only one department or may work for multiple departments. One employee should work for only one department or multiple departments. Only one department. Multiple, please change your constructive analysis. See, I can have a bank manager who is basically working in the administrative department. But suddenly one day my cashier did not come to my bank. Manager can sit in the cash counter to issue the cash. That doesn't mean that he went into the cashier departments. I'm always belonging to one department. I can give service to multiple departments. At the end of the day, I'll come back to my original department. Try to understand these dynamics of the business. So these dynamics, if we are not understanding, then only our confusions will start. So once again, as I said on the thumb rule, from the table to the column, every column should be what? 1 to 1. The same way, let us work in the reverse direction. One employee number is allocated to one employee or many employees? One employee. So this column becomes automatically what? Primary key. With one name, only one employee can exist or many can exist? Many can exist. With one designation, one employee will be there or many employees will be there? Many. With one joining date, we can have only one employee or many employees? Many. With one fixed salary, many employees can be there or only one? Many can be there. On the same commission, one employee can be there or many employees can be there? Many. One manager can control one employee or many employees? Many. In one department, we can have one employee or many employees? Many. So what's the difference between these two tables? If how you can by heart tables, tell me. By business, by requirement, they will change. You by heart your tables, you're gone. That's what I'm saying. Put 40% of your common sense to understand the business, 60% is the technology. When you are directly writing any select statement, then it's only the technology. You're not catching the rule of the system. But when you come into my company, I need your system intelligence. I don't need your subject intelligence. So if I am writing select statements, keeping all these things in my mind with common sense, I am writing my select statements. Therefore, sir, please teach me select statements. At this age, I don't think I need to teach you. Because SQL looks like a English language. So how many select statements we execute is not important. How much of business implementation we understand by that select statement is very important. This last 40 minutes of work we have done, it may look ridiculous for many number of students. You just wait and check this last 40 minutes work what we have done, how it will drive you to understand the rule of the business when we are executing the select statements. So, before we write any select statement, are we having these reasons or not? That's very important. So, if I am executing even a simple select statement, I am executing by rule of the relation and by cardinality of the relation. And every time we execute, we should understand those rules. Again and again, I'll never speak with what I was speaking in the last 40 minutes. So students who are seriously thinking of having a career in databases, it's a very long journey for you to start from today, man. Even now it's not too late. If you're having any pending work with respect to how to create tables and insert the data, close it. Select statements are not yet started. That is on my shoulders. But now we will start increasing our speed a bit now, okay? We had some speed, no doubt, but it was too slow, I hope so. Now I'll start accelerating the process. So if you're not getting accelerated along with me, then in next 24 hours you'll find the differences definitely. So let's see how exactly we'll execute these select statements with rules and reasons every time we are keeping them onto the screen. Thank you once again, tomorrow with you.
That day you asked to send the resume.